So we're back. This is a bit of a special this is the yeast kind of this is still it's still doing its thing.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot
still
of
working.
There's still things happening. It's not in the middle of fermentation. This is keg fermentation right now. So this is a taste. It is a brown color.
Yep.
So as a quad, you want black or brown. So this is like an in between. So this is the killer quad coming out here pretty soon. Let's give it a taste. I don't know how it's gonna taste. So let's
Killer quad. See what's going on.
That's tasty. It's like there's no carbonation, or it's very low carbonated.
So sweetness.
Yeah, well, so there's still some action happening. I think it's gonna ferment in the keg. So this is coming from the keg. I think it's a very tasty beer.
Yeah, it is. It's we've tried a couple other beers today. We went from light to dark.
This is like an in between them.
This is kind of in between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite a light, but
No.
it's not a heavy.
This is the quad. This is a Belgian quad. This is it's meant to be a darker beer, but I've engineered the recipe to be more on kind of, as you can tell, it's not as black as I used to make it.
Yeah.
This one's more of a kind of brown color, and I do that on purpose. But yeah.
Oh. So how did you make it less black?
You had less dark things to the beer. So you add, to get a darker beer, you add roastier malts.
Yeah.
Or candy sugar. I actually added 1.5 pounds of dark candy sugar to this. But
Okay.
It actually still, the complexion, it's still kind of lighter than I would have hoped.
Okay.
I would hope this to be a little bit darker. Only reason actually to be darker, so I don't give a crap about color too much, but the only reason is to distinguish it very visually from my triple.
It just would look more like a triple than a quad, right?
I think once it's done, so this is
Again, it's not finished.
It's not 100%. So this is actually coming up to 100% as it builds up there.
Okay.
So it's going to clear out probably. I think the sediment's going to drop to the bottom, so it's still kind of doing its fermentation thing a little bit. So I did bottle fermentation, so that means you add sugar to the entire batch of it, and then you mix it up, and then so the sugar is distributed evenly.
Yeah.
Then you pour it into all the bottles, and then it can ferment
a little bit more
in the bottle to get the CO2 release, right?
Yeah.
So so since we're taking this from the keg, you don't necessarily need to do that with the keg.
Yeah.
So you can add CO2, so it's a little bit different, and there's a little bit more headspace. But I would consider this even at the gate, I would consider this a really good beer. It lacks two big things. It's not cold.
No.
And it lacks CO2.
CO2. Okay.
Yeah, it lacks.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand that. The CO2 thing. So
this would be. So you can taste the spiciness.
Mm-hmm.
You can taste a little bit of the hoppiness, but very, very subtle. It's the spicy hoppiness. But then there's also spiciness from the yeast. So I think there's the dual spice.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
It's very nice. And it's not overpowering. It's just delicious.
Yep. The hops aren't overpowering. It's very kind of they hit and then they're gone. It's not like that. We had a dry hopped beer earlier.
Yeah.
From Monkless, and that hop flavor hung around.
Yeah.
This is not hang around.
This doesn't have it. No, it's not.
But the hang around flavor is kind of the spice of coriander.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that.
What coriander?
Coriander or
okay.
Cloves
maybe. Yeah.
So it's
the
that
combination.
It's that level of spice that kind of lingers around, rather than grassy or
yeah.
any kind of like earthy tones, which is actually, I mean, earthy. When people say earthy, usually it's a bad thing when you're talking about food or something.
Yeah.
But in this case, like in a beer, sometimes that's just describing like hops. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
what's cool about this beer is that it's a full flavor.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely full flavor.
And it's not even carbonated. It's
Yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying? It's not, yeah. I'm pretty excited for this one actually. This like, I always get pumped up for my beers sometimes because it's, you brew them,
Yeah.
then you have to wait, and you're like, I'm not sure how good I did until, and you've been with this process. Yeah. So you do it, and then you have to taste your fruits of your labor like 2 to 4 weeks later, and then you're like, wait, is it good or is it? So this one, you know,
It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think this is a delicious one.
Yeah.
And before
and there's a difference between a good beer and a delicious beer.
I think
this is a delicious beer.
Yeah. This isn't crushable necessarily. It's very. I think it sits pretty well in your mouth, but this is. I don't want to judge it
until
totally.
You get it completely.
Yeah, but this is a good first little taste.
Yeah.
But at that, so for this taste test, we can wrap that up.
Yep.
So this is going to be the first batch of the West Coning. This is the May edition. So everyone that's involved right now is going to get a bottle of this. This is a quad, the Killer Quad. Then also a triple.
Yeah.
So the Eliphas triple recipe. Next month I have 2 more on the docket, but yeah.
But what it is it's moving out of your comfort zone and trying something a little bit better tasting, a little bit better beer than the ones you just mentioned. So.
Yeah. I mean, for
yeah.
Yeah, and so these are tasty beers. Yeah.
Yeah.
This club, West Coning Beer Club. Patreon is at patreon.com, I think, /West Coning. But it's about tasting good beer every month. You know, we share ideas, we share thoughts on beer. Every month you get a vote on what beers I brew, and then once a month I have a tap room. Then I'll invite you guys over, and this is off the tap. So this is in the keg. It's not fully finished keg, but you know, this is off the keg of the same recipe, same brew cycle that I made my other stuff that I bought.
Yep.
So everyone gets a chance to taste it. Everyone gets a chance, like in this case, June 7th.
Beer. Yeah.
June 7th. All right. Who was that? They called twice. That's how you know it's real.
I just see a